If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Guys, today's video is a one with the grain with a blowout. Some of you guys might call it a taper fade. This one specifically is going to be where you can see the start of the curve. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're going to be starting with the Master's one guard all the way open, and you're just going to take this all the way around his head with the grain. Next we're going to use the Andis BGRs. I'm using my 5-0 blade, and I'm going to make my first initial guideline just right underneath the ears. Next we're going to take our Andis Masters and we're going to open it up to the half position, and we're going to take the guideline about an inch up. Now we're going to use our Andis 0 guard, and we're going to open the clipper to the halfway position. Now we're going to go with the grain about an inch above that first initial guideline that we made with the half. Now we're going to close the clipper to the first notch, and we're going to work in the same area. And what this is doing is it's smoothing out that area, so when we go back against the grain to blend, it's less hair to blend and less bulk. Now open your clipper back up to the halfway position, which is the third notch, and we're going to go right on that line, and we're going to just start flicking out. And at this point, most of it should be blended, so all we're going to use that 4th and 5th notch for is to get out any dark spots or anything else that's not 100% blended. And right here, you're going to start to notice that I use the corner of my clipper because in the middle it's a little bit heavy, so I'm just going to use the corner of my clipper to remove some of that bulk. Now we're going to move it to the second and the first notch, and just like we blended up, now we're going to come back and blend down and get out any spots that we couldn't get out with the 3rd through 5th notch. Now to start getting out that bottom line, we're going to go with the Masters all the way closed with no guard, and we're going to start working on that first line. And just like we did before, we're basically going to repeat the same process, which is we're going to use the first notch to start getting out most of that line. The 3rd notch is going to basically blend the rest of it in. Then we're going to go with the 4th and 5th notch to smooth out any dark areas. Now using our 2nd and our 1st notch, we're going to go ahead and start blending back down just to hit any dark areas that you see that you couldn't get out with the 4th and 5th notch. And as you see, I'm really using majority of the corner of my clipper, because when you use the corner of your clipper, you tend to keep the fade where it is, and when you use the entire blade, you tend to bring the fade up, and you don't want to do that. back with your Andis BGRs and your 5-0 blade, you're going to make your first guideline right where the ear connects to the head. Now open your Andis Masters all the way up, and you're going to go in a sideways position almost and make your first guideline back where that ear is connected to the head. Now with your 0 guard open halfway, go about an inch above that guideline in a sideways motion and smooth that area out. Now turn that clipper back over, and we're going to go using the corner of our clipper, because we're working in such a tight area, we're going to start blending that line out. And don't go too far over to the right, because remember, we're going to see the start of his curve, and we don't want to make that part lighter than what it already is. And you see at this point, it's basically already blended in. So all we're going to do is use that 4th and 5th notch just to get out any dark spots and not to go too high. Now with the 2nd and 1st notch, same thing as the back, we're just going to go a little bit further down and get out any spots that we couldn't get out with the 4th and 5th notch. Alright, now with no guard, we're going to close the masters, and we're going to blend in our sideways position that we started with our first guideline, and we're going to go up to the ear. After that, open the clipper up to the 3rd notch, and we're going to start using the corner of our clipper so we don't bring the fade up too high. At this point, it should be blended about 90%. So now we're going to use our 4th and our 5th notch just to get out any dark areas. With the 2nd and 1st notch, we're going to go ahead and just get out anything that we couldn't get out with the 4th and 5th notch, and just repeat the same exact process on the other side. Right here, guys, he does have a scar, so it doesn't look 100% blended. So I did stretch the skin out for you guys just so you could see it was 100% blended, just in case you guys were wondering. Now we're going to start lining them up, and I'm using my T outliners, and make sure you keep his lines as natural as possible around the entire head. get to the side of the head, after you line his corner up, you're going to want to make the peak of the edge first. Then you're going to come back and make a half moon shape into that peak. And just repeat the same process on the other side. And same thing for the front, keep his edge as natural as possible. Alright guys, this is the cut. If you think the cut came out great, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.